Yes, my friends, it is Monday, which means it's time for Monday Mirages on Levac and Gaz 104.5 The Team. We are actually in the studio. Real!
Yes, real. We're actually here in chairs with microphones, headsets, and everything.
I don't remember who it was I ran into over the weekend. That I was just in some store, and they were like, "Are you doing a live broadcast?" I just figured you were here doing a live broadcast. You're everywhere doing a live broadcast. They'll have me. I'm in.
No equipment set up or anything? You're just standing around?
Just in line. Hey, you doing one? Nope.
Here we go. Monday Mirage is trying to figure out if it should be real or just a one-week Mirage. We have a lot of today ones going on here, Monday Mirages. Real or Mirage, Iona should be a 2.5-point favorite against Siena tonight.
I'm going to say real because of what we don't know about Nico Clarith. If I knew Nico Clarith was playing, I'd probably make it a 1-point game one way or the other. But because we don't know for sure about Nico, I'm going to say real.
It feels like one of these scenarios that the game is at Siena, so it should be like Siena obviously should be the favorite. They won the other night. It's their home court. The fans are going to be out there supporting them more so than Iona. The Nico Clarith thing is an obviously huge part of the line. I thought we were going to see quarterback style. In other words, when a quarterback's injured in the NFL or college football, they take the game off the board.
Right.
They don't even let the public basically wager on the game because there's too much they could lose being the respective casino. Siena did lose to Iona by 11 points earlier this year, but they also beat them in New Rochelle by 2. So an 11-point win for Siena in the Times Union Center already. I lean towards Siena being the favorite, so I would say Mirage, it should be Siena because they're playing at home. They've beaten them before. Iona and them tied, but Iona had the tiebreaker, so Siena technically could have been the home team in both ways tonight. I lean Siena, so I'm going Mirage there. Real or Mirage, we're sticking here in Capital Region style. The UAlbany men's basketball team should be a favorite on the road tonight against Stony Brook. Right now, the Great Danes are listed as a 3-point favorite. That line's continued to move all day long. A 3-point favorite against Stony Brook.
All right, so I'm going to say real. And the reason I'm going to say real is if you listen to Zach when he was on, Zach, of course, Zach By, part of Big Board Sports, 10 to noon right here on 104.5 The Team and the call for UAlbany. There are times that Vegas will tell you the outcome of a game. When you look at this game, Stony Brook's at home. UAlbany blew a 20-point lead against them in the past. You know, there's all these reasons. There's 1,000,001 reasons why you should say Stony Brook should at least be like a 1-point favorite or a pick'em game. And 65 to 70% of the people betting are betting on Stony Brook. Yet the line is going higher and higher for Albany. That means smart people who know what's going to happen are putting money on UAlbany. So real, UAlbany's the favorite. And let me get my phone out and call Vegas.
You're going to invest real quick?
Let me call Vegas.
I'll go to Mirage here again with this one because Stony Brook's beaten them twice this season. I would understand if Albany swept the season series. They said Albany's a better team than Stony Brook. They've defeated them. They're at home. There's a lot of factors that would make me think Albany should be the favorite. But all the on-paper factors are working against Albany. They haven't had somebody come back from an injury. Joe Cremo is getting healthier. And there's been times this season people wondered how much Joe Cremo could put out there just because of his health. But Stony Brook should be the favorite tonight. It's a one-and-done scenario. Do I think Stony Brook's going to win the game? No, but at least they've earned it throughout the season to be the team to get taken down tonight on their home court in the America East playoffs. So Stony Brook.
What the hell is a Seawolf?
Real and Mirage, we're going to the NFL on this one. Mike Glennon is worth $10 million a year.
I'm going to say Mirage, but not for the reasons you think. I think he's worth 12 to 14.
Wow.
Because I don't think there's anybody out there right now that is going to inspire a bidding war the way he is. I think he is going to get teams like the Jets, the Bears, maybe the Bills. There's going to be about 3 or 4 teams who are going to be vying for his attention. He's going to make about $14, $15 million a year out of this.
This feels foolish to me to argue about Mike Glennon's worth when he hasn't played in 2016 or 2015. So somehow, someway, a guy who hasn't played in the NFL since 2014 and was mediocre at best in Tampa Bay when he was doing that is worth $12 to $14 to $15 million because he's 6'6". because he's sitting behind Jameis Winston, because he hasn't thrown any interceptions, because he's not playing. I don't get how a guy becomes more valuable from not playing in the quarterback class overall, both in the NFL draft and free agency, being bad, that now he's worth more. He didn't become a better NFL player in the past 2 years sitting on the bench, but somehow he's worth more money. I go Mirage, $4 to $5 million, and this could be a very Brock Osweiler scenario. Brock Osweiler got paid a ton of money, but at least Brock Osweiler won games for the Denver Broncos the season previous, a team that went on to win the Super Bowl. I get Osweiler more than they do the Mike Lennon thing.
Another thing I'll tell you, too, you're worth what they'll pay you. And on top of that, this guy wants to be a starter so bad, he turned down what we're hearing could be in excess of $8 million a year to back up Jameis Winston. So he's going to take a contract that's going to be incentive-laden, too. So he could have a base around 12 and make 18.
Do you know how many people I know in my life that if you told them, hey, look, someone else is going to be doing your job, and if anything ever goes wrong, you'll then do that person's job, and up until that point, you're going to have your salary quadrupled? How many people would say no?
Here's a visor. Here's a clipboard. Go look pretty. And then if we need you, we'll give you a call.
We're going to quadruple your salary, and you're not going to do as much work in this other business that may offer you a little bit more. I say 95% of the people that I know would all take that deal. And Mike Lennon said no, he wants to be a starter. All right. Good for you. You're much better than most of the people I know in my life. Real or Mirage? Washington Husky, former Washington Husky wide receiver John Ross was the star of this year's NFL Combine.
Real. But I don't, only because it was kind of a boring combine. Like, I felt bored. Like, there was nothing that I really wanted to see. There was no quarterback I had to see throw. There was no this, there was no that. And the guy blows it. He doesn't even wear Adidas when he goes out there and could have won himself an island. And then when they asked him, he's like, I don't swim and I don't own a boat. You're going to get $1 million in an island. You can get a pretty sweet boat.
You'll be okay without the boat, right?
You can get a boat.
I'm going real here because the guy ran a 4.2240 and it just doesn't happen. It's a record. But I see what you're saying about the combine being boring. I feel like we as sports fans have become numb. Like, yawn. Guy ran a 4.2.
Right.
Myles Garrett's 270 pounds. He had a 40-inch vertical. La, 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 la. Like, these are... Leonard Fournette ran a 4.5, and he's 250 pounds. Whatever. It's another day at the combine. These are unbelievably freakish athletes pulling stuff off right here. And we as sports fans have now set that as our new standard. Yeah. Oh, that's what we expect every year at the combine.
I think you talked me into not liking it.
The combine?
Yeah. You're so down on all the stuff I used to think was fun. Oh, it's the underwear Olympics. Oh, it's just practice. And then I go to watch it, and I hear your voice in the back of my head. Hate you guys.
I think I'm jealous now. That's what it is. I'm seeing the guys put up the 225 reps, and I'm seeing the guys run the 40. I'm like, man, why couldn't I do that? Why couldn't I be that strong or jacked? 4.240.
Because you chose pizza and wings over, workouts and...
They taste good, man.
Yeah, I know.
Beer's right good as well.
Don't act like I don't know the plight.
Real or Mirage? ESPN's championship week. So we're talking about the conference tournaments, the conference tournament finals. Championship week is actually better than the NCAA tournament.
That is a mirage. For somebody like you, it might be, because you're just such a diehard, crazy hoops fan and college sports fan. There's nothing like the one and done scenario with the Cinderellas and the whole nine. And championship week, the big reason that's a mirage, it's not better, is a lot of these big conferences, it doesn't matter if you win it or not. You're going, we know what teams are going for the most part. We're like, tonight, if Siena wins, they're in. If they lose, they're not. Monmouth was the dominant team of the MAC all year long, and it doesn't make a bit of difference. They're not going. So it's like this championship week, I'm going to be watching, all right, Big Ten, ACC, all these ones, I'll be watching them go by and be like, okay, all of you are in. All of you are in. None of you are in. You already know.
I've never done this in the history of Money Mirages. This is the first time I've ever done one out of your book. Real-ish Not the thing you put on hot dogs, not relish, real-ish. Some years it can be. ESPN Championship Week, when you have great buzzer beaters, you have cool stories that teams like Siena, who would have no chance to make the NCAA tournament, become the Cinderella in their conference tournament, run the table, cool stories like Nico Clarith. Yes, that's the times it could be better. But if you're out in the desert and you're going for water and you see the Mirage out there, sometimes you're going to get a year where Championship Week is better. And some years, you're going to just fall flat on your face. Like last year, March Madness was incredible. A buzzer beater to win the national championship, half-court shots, unbelievable comebacks. The tournament outplayed Championship Week. So sometimes yes, sometimes no. I'm leaning towards Championship Week being better than the tournament this year because it's already off to an amazing start.
Love the tournament, baby.
Yeah, I know. I do love the tournament.
Brackets.
It's going to be tough this year, too, because we're going to be at Hooters for it, too. So we're going to be enjoying the tournament no matter what the results are, even if our brackets might be struggling. We're going to have a little fallback.
What do you mean? I don't understand.
What do you mean, what do I mean? You're going to enjoy Hooters, the beers, the sights.
Hooters? Have I ever been to this place before?
Last one here. Real or Mirage, you like Ed Sheeran and his music.
Whew. I don't like when you say his music. That I know like 3 songs. Does that count? I know 3 songs. If I like 3 songs, does that count?
Yeah, that counts.
Okay, real. I'm big into gingers lately. I really am. Clint Frazier, Ronald McDonald.
I bring up
Wendy.
I bring up Ed Sheeran because his CD album Divide had 8 songs going to the top 100 when it was released on Friday.
Didn't hear any of them.
I'll tell you this, Levac. Here's a stat for you. In my mind, a hot take.
Chris Honorado. I like him.
Chris Honorado's great. We do like Chris Honorado. Yep. The Ed Sheeran Divide CD is my favorite.
James Lamson. Good ginger.
Favorite non-hip-hop CD since Usher's Confessions.
Really?
That's how good I think this CD is from Ed Sheeran. I love it.
Do you like You and the Imaginary Girlfriend? Listen to it. Open a bottle of wine.
I had to listen to a lot of it on the ride back.
Get groovy. Oh, you didn't even get groovy to it?
No, I didn't get groovy to it. They got some get groovy songs though, man. Barcelona, little Galloway Girl. We can cut up a rug with those songs.
Galloway, like Joey Galloway Girl?
No. Joey Galloway is not in the new Ed Sheeran CD.
You hear Joey Galloway's name, you get all excited?
She actually paid for the CD. Like I was in that group where the like Napster and Livewire, where everyone just used to rip off music. She paid for the album. Good for her.
I've been in radio for 20 years. I have not bought a CD in 20 years. 20 years. And I have all the music.
Let's go even farther back. What was the last album Levac bought? Can I take a guess?
You're going to be horribly wrong.
Notorious B.I.G. Life After Death.
Not bad. It was the last House of Pain CD.
Oh,
and Everlast when he did the solo effort. That was good. Everlast, if you had opened it up and took the CD out, the back picture, because he had open heart surgery, was the zipper, was the scar for his open heart surgery.
Look at that. Very cool.
Something for you to know
last
right there.
album I bought was that J. Cole album that just came out. I liked him.
You're such an idiot. And that's real.
J. Cole's great. It wasn't as good as Forest Hills Drives, though. Mr. Proctor will shout me out on that. I know he's a J. Cole guy.